Known as the King of Pop, Michael Jackson was a best selling American singer, songwriter, and dancer. As a child, Jackson became the lead singer of his family's popular group, the Jackson Five. He went on to a solo career of worldwide success, delivering number one hits from the albums Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad. In his later years, Jackson was dogged by allegations of child molestation. He died in 2009 at age 50 of a drug overdose, just before launching a comeback tour. It's no secret that before and even after his death, Jackson was the subject of multiple sexual abuse accusations and police investigations, as well as civil and criminal lawsuits. This timeline lays out key dates, known allegations, and the main accusations the artist and his state have faced going back more than a quarter century. In August 1993, Los Angeles police begin investigating Jackson, but the police find insufficient evidence at Jackson's Neverland Ranch, nor his Los Angeles condominium. In September 1993, one family filed suit against Jackson, but 1 year later, prosecutors announced that they are not filing criminal charges against Jackson involving three boys because the primary alleged victim declined to testify. On December 8, at a press conference held while on tour in Tel Aviv, Jackson's estranged sister, Latoya, alleges that the abuse accusations against Michael are true. Then, in November 2003, police booked Jackson on child molestation charges. 2 days after writing Neverland, Jackson's famous ranch in Santa Barbara County, California. The sheriff's office arrests Jackson on charges of child molestation, but does not immediately disclose details of the charges or identify the victim. After being charged in late 2003 and then given additional charges the following April, Jackson is put on trial. After a trial that had a circus-like atmosphere, and whose proceedings seemed to sometimes be upstaged by Jackson's antics, including showing up late in pajamas on one occasion. The singer is acquitted of all charges. He's found unresponsive at his home in Holmby Hills, California. At the time of his death, his family releases a statement saying that it is believed that he died of cardiac arrest. On November 11, 2011, a Dr. Conrad Murray is found guilty of involuntary manslaughter in Jackson's death for having administered a deadly dose of the anesthetic medicine. During the trial, the New York Times reported that Murray, who had been hired as Jackson's personal physician, had stayed with Jackson at least 6 nights a week and was regularly asked and sometimes begged by the insomniac singer to give him drugs powerful enough to put him to sleep. Little did everyone know, after debuting at Sundance in late January, the two-part, 4-hour documentary about the Michael Jackson sexual allegations begins airing. Less than 2 weeks after leaving Neverland airs on HBO, the luxury fashion house Louis Vuitton seeks distance from the late pop icon, whose signature looks had helped inspire much of its fall 2019 menswear collection. And just like Louis Vuitton, many brands, artists, and people forgot their admiration for Michael Jackson because of this documentary. I personally have classified this huge story as a myth because it has two different audiences. One that is in favor of the victims, and the other that is in favor of a famous artist accused of numerous accusations of sexual abuse of children, which is known as pedophilia. Which ends up being really unconventional with humanity since they downplay the testimonies of the numerous victims just because they're trying to confirm that these allegations were a misconception of these innocent boys and because they cannot believe that their favorite artist, who has been dead for over a decade, was a dangerous pedophile. Personally, it's really impossible for me to believe that this man wasn't a pedophile. After searching information about this and seeing the documentary, it became really hard to not believe the victims. Only then I could really see how damaged people are for believing it is okay. Suppose the rich, over 40 years old famous artist of the year asks for your permission to let your 10-year-old son sleep with him, alone in a single room with one single bed. What would you do? And what would you think?